everyone, InfiniteCaz here, and welcome to another video. Today, I'm going to be talking about 5 underrated weapons in Splatoon 2. There are a huge host of weapons to choose from, and many of them are overshadowed currently. The meta is always evolving, and some weapons are no longer prevalent and competitive, or never had the tools to break through into the spotlight. Today, I want to talk about 5 weapons in particular that I think people forget about. As a disclaimer, I'm not claiming that these weapons are amazing and should be used by everyone, but I do think people tend to overlook them for the most part. With that out of the way, please like and subscribe as it really helps me out, and let's get right into it. Firstly, I want to talk about an old favourite of mine, the vanilla splasher Matic. This shooter has a range of 42 and is a comfortable 4-shot kill, but due to the splash's fire rate, it's still a very rapid splat. The splash can be thought of as an alternative splatter shot, as it's very similar in range and plays the same role. However, it's much more accurate, making it a slightly harder weapon to play, which will make people gravitate towards the splatter shots. The main reason it's not seen often is probably due to the sub, which is Toxic Mist. While not awful, it's only useful in a handful of situations compared to a lethal bomb, which can apply a lot of pressure and deal damage. Toxic Mist, when thrown, produces a cloud of, toxic mist that can slow down opponents and slowly drain their ink tank. This is very useful in 1v1 situations, as it can also trap opponents and give you an exact pinpoint of their location, but it doesn't deal any damage and is easy to move away from, which doesn't make it that brilliant. The real strength of the splash is its special, which is the Inkjet. This is a great aggressive special that pairs very well with the splash, and it's even better when you find out it only takes 170p to fully charge. This combined with the splash's great paint coverage means you can easily have an inkjet in almost any situation, something the InfiniteCaz splatter shot can't boast. This makes it an interesting pick for maps that favour the inkjet, such as Starfish Mainstage. But you need to be confident with your aim for it to be a good pick over the 3-shot InfiniteCaz, as the T-Tech outrages it slightly, but it's more ink heavy and has a wider spread of shots. The Neo Splasher Matic has burst bombs and suction bomb launcher, which makes it a great pick for pressuring areas and fighting people from a distance with your bomb. However, I do feel that the Neo isn't as overlooked in general as the vanilla, as I see it played fairly often, especially in splat zones due to the bomb launcher. In the end, it comes down to personal preference. Do you want to have a fast inkjet or a helpful bomb launcher? The splatter shots are so prevalent in the meta that similar shooters don't have much chance to break into the spotlight. And I'm not saying the vanilla splash is better than the T-Tech, but it's still a well-rounded fun weapon to pick up and play. Next up is the shortest range Splatling in the game, the mini Splatling. This is a very mobile weapon, and paired with run speed you can strafe very fast. The mini also charges very quickly, making it much less vulnerable in a number of situations. The mini is a midline and can be played very aggressively or defensively. It comes with burst bombs and tenta missiles, which I think pair really well with this weapon. Burst bombs take up under half of your ink tank, so you can charge at least twice after throwing one, making it perfect in sticky situations. The tenta missiles allow you to track your opponents and disrupt their movement, making pushing forward and taking them out much easier. Like other Splatlings, the mini is a 4-shot, with each shot dealing 32 damage, which makes 3 shots plausible in 1v1 situations as well. All of that sounds great, so why does nobody ever use the mini? I think it's simply overshadowed by other midliners. The Pro has a similar range and is almost a 2-shot paired with damage up, making it a much stronger pick overall than the mini. Another Splatling, the Nautilus, also is used often due to its held charge mechanic, and the ballpoint is much more mobile than the mini while also having a short range charge, making the mini seem weak and unfavourable in comparison. In such a competitive meta, the mini simply can't compete with many of the other popular weapons in the game. But being overshadowed doesn't mean it's bad. I think it can be a very good pick in certain situations, especially paired with something such as a slosher. It can be used more aggressively, which makes it a very different playstyle to other Splatlings. The mini has an impressive range of 62, which outranges a lot of prevalent weapons in the game, so it has good matchup against most front lines, providing you have the range advantage. So does the mini deserve more? Personally, yes, but I'm not going to sit here and act like it should be used by everyone. I just think the mini fills a niche role and more people should consider it as a versatile option. While rollers are never used that often, the Dynamo and Vanilla Splat see some use at high level play, as they may be hard to use but can be very dangerous in the right hands. The new roller introduced in Splatoon 2, the Flingza roller, has never seen that much use. The Flingza is a weird hybrid of the vanilla Splat roller and Dynamo, but just slightly worse than both. The weapon's horizontal swing is almost identical to the Splat roller in both power and range, while the vertical swing is a much weaker Dynamo equivalent, but is slightly faster. However, the vertical swing is really only useful for painting paths and picking off very weak opponents, so the Flingza is basically just another Splat roller. The maximum range of the Flingza is 58, pretty impressive, but damage fall off is a thing, which means to utilise this you will need to stack main power up, which reduces damage fall off when you swing. The kit the Flingza possesses makes it an interesting pick. It has Splash Wall and Splat Bomb Rush, making it one of the few aggressive weapons to have such a sub. This gives the Flingza a line of defense when attacking, and because the roller is so deadly, this can actually be utilised very well. I may not be the most familiar with rollers, but I have dabbled in them before, and I can see the Flingza as a great support weapon when paired with a slayer such as a splatter shot or blaster, due to its paint coverage and kit. Splat Bomb Launcher is also great to drive people away, and because your roller is lethal up close, you are not that vulnerable when using this special. I think the Flingza is rarely used compared to the vanilla roller as it's less aggressive with its kit, and it fills a role that really doesn't exist. The foil Flingza has the same kit as the Kensa splatter shot, being Suction Bomb and Tenta missiles, but I feel this makes it even more overshadowed. The interesting kit the vanilla has makes it somewhat a niche pick in my mind, but especially as a backliner, I never reached for it over a more defensive weapon. I think the Flingza has never been given a chance to shine, and I can see it being utilised by a great player. However, I wouldn't know where to start on a weapon like this, as it has quite a high skill floor due to its mechanics compared to the Splat roller, which is why nobody seems to talk about it. However, when you come across a good Flingza player, they can be very threatening, and that's why I decided to talk about it. The GLOGAs originally had a reputation for being the worst dualies in the game, and while that mentality kind of still stands, I think they can be insanely powerful in the right hands. These dualies are much slower, but have an impressive range of 65, and in turret form they can two-shot at a similar pace to a Gal, just more accurate. While shooting normally, they are still a comfortable 3-shot, but they are quite inaccurate, so you need to utilise rolling when trying to get the upper hand over other opponents. The main reason I think nobody talks about this weapon is it's very hard to use, as a single small mistake can end up with you dead due to the lag when rolling and the inaccuracy of the main weapon. This causes most people to turn away from the weapon before giving it a real chance. The good GLOGA players I have seen can really be a threat, as the two-shot is so fast you struggle to counter it. This allows the GLOGAs to be more aggressive if they need to, which makes them very similar to a Gal. I want to talk about the Kensa variant in particular, as it has a great kit for defense and offense. The fizzy bombs are great to damage and pressure back opponents, which makes splatting the enemy easier and reduces the risk of pushing. The fizzy bombs, when fully charged, are also good at painting and have a good range, making them a good choice for any weapon. Because only a handful of weapons in the game have this sub, the GLOGAs are the only weapon of its type to have fizzy bomb, making it a decent pick. The special, Ink Armor, however, is by far the weapon's best feature. This allows you to take more risks and makes you even more deadly when advancing. It also makes you an asset to the rest of your team, as Ink Armor is a great special that benefits everyone when you use it. This makes the Kensa GLOGAs both offensive and defensive, and the set makes it less intimidating to newcomers who may be put off by the weapon's difficult to master mechanics. The other variants have Ink Mines and Inkjet, which is not a great combination, and Splash Wall and Baller, which is a more aggressive set and can be used very effectively, but I believe that the Kensa GLOGAs are the best kit, simply because they are very versatile. Lastly, I want to talk about a weapon that's never talked about, and that's the Rapid Blaster Pro Deco. This weapon used to be used all the time in competitive, but nowadays it's never seen. This is probably due to the rise of a more aggressive meta, and the support of Rapid Blasters struggle to fit into it. The Rapid Pro has a range of 72, very impressive for a blaster. This makes it easy to pick off opponents from a distance and space the enemy team out. Like the regular Rapids, this weapon deals 35 damage with an indirect and 85 with a direct, making it either a 2 or a 3-shot kill. If you manage to score a direct, it's very likely that you will manage to take them down, but because your shots are very slow, your opponents can flee if they get hit with an indirect. This makes the Rapid Pro very difficult to use well, but a confident player can wreak havoc easily. This weapon is perfect to pressure the objective and defend it from the opposition. Your kit, which has Splash Wall, can be placed in key positions to halt anyone that tries to push forward, and it also gives you a line of protection if your aim has been inconsistent. Then the special, Ink Armor, acts as another line of defense for your team. This weapon has a 180p armor, which is very affordable and is a great asset to the Rapid Pro, especially due to its vulnerability up close. The Rapid Splash radius is also a good size, which makes painting and taking out opponents behind corners easy. You don't need to be accurate to get splats, so it's very good at pressure and chasing opponents that try to escape from a situation, especially combined with its range. This weapon is nowhere near anyone's cup of tea, but I think it can be played very effectively if you can master the playstyle. You are susceptible to aggro opponents, so you need to make sure that your game awareness is great and your aim is on point. But like the other Rapids, they can be really deadly in the right hands. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe as it really helps me out, and I will see you all next time. Bye!